Lassie Farm here. Here it is, more than halfway through November, and I'm going barefoot. Call me a shitheel. A lassie. They say it's good for you. You absorb the earth's energy through your feet, and that's what keeps me so healthy and slim. It's working. I asked them at Walmart if they had any pop without high fructose corn syrup, and the lady looked at me like I had two heads. But I found some IBC root beer with cane sugar instead of that toxic HFC crap. Because I care about my health. I'm not like the rest of you people. I haven't smoked anything in a week and a half. I just kind of lost interest. I guess I'm not addicted. I tried to be, but it just isn't working out no matter what I do. From where we left off, Scotty gave him his best fed up big deal grimace. So the entire state of New York is minus one lousy supplier. So what? Take your bar jive back up to Brooklyn, Rastus. You're out of your league. He rose from his seat. The Jamaican's arm shot out to restrain him. Hey, listen, man. I can handle 4 times the weight that my friend could. I got 200 grand in my shaving kit and unlimited resources in New York City, Scotty sensed he had this guy on the hook. Now to play him a bit. Excuse me while I catch my breath. He glanced at his watch. I've got a birthday party to go to. The Jamaican pushed it another notch. Tell him it's Teddy Prentice, Toonie's friend. He'll know me for sure. He flipped over a coaster and scribbled down a phone number. Scotty accepted it with just the right touch of reluctance. I'll be at this number until late tomorrow night, no longer. Well, I'll just see what we can do to accommodate you, Prentice. He turned and lumbered out. The Jamaican did not return to sample Martine's charms. He watched Scotty very carefully as he left the club. Where the hell is Daddy? Darling, don't talk like that, please. Caroline Crockett rarely heard the plaintive, whining tone come into Billy's voice anymore. He was a pretty self-sufficient little 6-year-old, and she was proud of him. Occasionally, though, his daddy's less than sterling habits of language crept into the boy's speech, usually timed just right to make Mommy jump a bit. Tonight, though, it seemed justified. It was nearly 9:30, and Sonny had not shown up for his son's birthday party. She poured herself a stiff shot of lemonade from the pitcher on the dining room table. The room was festooned with a debris of a birthday blowout, and the dining area had been summarily sacked and abandoned for the living room, where all the presents got a thorough going over amid the remnants of wrapping paper by Billy's gang of pals, which included Donna Wheeler's 2 kids. Donna maneuvered around the colored paper shards and boxes and lifted another lemonade in a toast to Caroline. I pronounce this birthday a success, she said. From the other side of the dining room, Scotty Wheeler, still decked out in the casual clothes he'd worn to the club that afternoon, added, and many more. Oh my God, don't say that, Caroline returned, rolling her eyes. in consideration of the setup and cleanup. One very obviously reserved piece of cake remained on the serving platter, surrounded by crumbs. It was as much an accusation as anything Caroline could come up with. Once she thought, a long time ago, "You were prettier than any cheerleader, kiddo," and the guys fell all over themselves to get into the same time zone with you. You had your pick. You picked Sonny Crockett. There's some kind of basic breakdown of logic there somewhere. In truth, Caroline wore the rigors of motherhood plus a full-time job well. Neither had detracted from her resilient southern beauty. She was from good, venerable Alabama stock, and once upon a time, she had been in love with a man named James Crockett. Sonny, to his friends, thereby violating her mother's informal rule that a woman should never marry a football player, even an ex-football player. "Hey," she said to Billy, "Bobby's taking over your planet destroyer, Chief." Billy dashed back into the living room where Bobby Wheeler was joysticking the new video game from his wheelchair. He had already obliterated most of a galaxy. Scotty sensed Caroline's pique and tried to be diplomatic. "Something must have come up, Caroline. You know how Vice is. Comes with the territory." This drew a reproachful look from Donna, who was getting ready to pack her brood up for home and bed. "Yeah," said Caroline, still pissed. "I know the territory all right." When the doorbell rang, they all froze like murderers caught in the act. Caroline nearly ran to the door, causing Donna to think, maybe this divorce isn't going to work out. It was Sonny, or what was left of him, cradling a huge foil-wrapped gift in one arm. His hair was askew. His clothing still bore the aftermath of the exploding Chevy, and his breath nearly knocked Caroline into the next room. He seemed in perfect control, but a little dazed. Billy's spirits instantly skyrocketed, and he sprang into the air at a run, leaping directly into Sonny's free arm catch. "Hi, Dad." "Hi, kiddo, how's my boy?" Billy cocked his head and raised one eyebrow exaggeratedly. It was a comeback he'd picked up from his dear old dad, and Caroline recognized it immediately. "How come you're so late?" Softly, almost soberly, Sonny said, "I'm sorry. Son, I didn't mean to be, but look what I found out on the front lawn with your name written on it." Billy dropped down and grabbed the box. "Can I open it?" "Right here, right now." It was the conflicting emotions she felt that Caroline hated the most. Sonny was a beast, showing up late, only marginally sober, and looking as though he'd been mowed down by a tank. But Billy loved his dad so much, without reservations, while her own reservations were a little too well known. Scotty ambled over while Billy dragged his stuff into the living room to undergo the scrutiny and approval of his friends. "Hey, man, what's with you? You're half in the bag, for God's sake." Sonny let him finish, then said, "Eddie Riviera got himself killed today on a deal I set up." He said it mostly to the floor. "Oh, wow," came Billy's voice from the next room. "A police car. Thanks, Dad." He came roaring back, clutching a 2-foot-long Metro-Dade squad car, and demanded another hug. Sonny held his son tightly, eyes squeezed shut. Later, after the guests had packed off and the party fallout had been swept to one side, Caroline brewed coffee and sat with Sonny at the breakfast bar. He wasn't saying much. She had been exhausted by her own day and had no one to tell about it. But she wasn't thinking about that at the moment. She was too busy trying to kick her tired mind into drawing Sonny out. He killed off half a cupful and then said, "Caroline, you suppose if I'd been in some other line of work, things would be different?" She knew him better than anyone, perhaps too well. Doing what? The thought brought a small smile to her face. Dealing real estate? Hot dog vendor? Selling Porsches for my brother? She almost reached for his hand, had to stop herself. And we'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching.